Now, I've been accused of going from big emotions like anger and having a lot of feelings to being accused of not caring at all. But the truth of the matter is, I don't lack feelings or emotions. I lack shackles now. I lack being weighed down by my emotions and then letting them boil over and manifest in negative outcomes, reacting to my emotions in a way that was not conducive to my freedom. So, what I do now in my life is I realize that everybody's chasing the bag. Everybody wants a lot of something, and it's money, it's currency. But I started to shift my thinking to realize that the real currency is our energy. And when we're talking about money or currency, what is it that we do with money? We get a bunch of money, we spend it, right? But spending it makes it go away and then you chase it. True entrepreneurs, successful business people, people with the big money pursue residual income, which is there's basically two ways to deal with your currency. You can spend your currency and it goes away, or you can invest your currency and it grows. So it's not that I don't have emotions, it's not that I lack feelings. It is that I invest my currency in better outcomes. I don't invest my currency in actions that aren't conducive to my peace. I believe in protecting my peace. I believe that if I sit still long enough in the heat of an argument or a situation that could be considered a trigger or an activating event for someone, that eventually things will calm down enough to where I can invest my currency into a solution in the moment and not showing that external reaction and that reactivity, which a lot of times and in my own past has been negative, has been violent, has led to unwanted outcomes, to say the least. So now I think about what is it that I need to focus on the most to be successful, which leads me to the next thought. What does being successful mean to me? So ask yourself, what does being successful mean to you? And what are the things that you need to invest your currency, your energy, your time, your thoughts, your efforts into in order to make what you consider success a reality for you? It's really that simple. So if you're going to pursue anger management, therapy, any type of recovery, any type of group support or holistic healing approach when it comes to the pursuit of your internal evolution, you must first ask yourself what that looks like in the end. What does recovery look like for you? Can you visualize yourself as a healed person? What are the steps that need to be taken first in order for you to get there? Because a lot of times we have these big, grandiose ideas about what we want. Like if somebody asked you, What would be the ideal amount of income for you to be happy to receive every month? Now, if you ask 100 people will probably have 100 different answers because what they value is going to differ. So the first thing that I say is to evaluate your values. Evaluate what your innermost values are. Evaluate what you believe to be the most important and try to align your priorities with your actions. And you will see success in the results when it comes to moving towards your goals in life. As long as you take those little steps, as long as you're 100% honest with yourself, if you can really look inside yourself and break down what your core beliefs are, whose are they? Are they still yours, or are you operating on your default core beliefs that were indoctrinated in you when you were a child, through trauma, through experience, through peers? Take some time and do a deep dive. Look at your core beliefs, look at your values, look at your priorities. Are they in alignment with your actions? And if they aren't, how do you reconcile that? How do you bridge those gaps so that your inner performance reflects your outer performance? Your innermost thoughts and desires reflect in the actions that you are living your life and reflect in the steps that you're taking so that you could get to this picture perfect version of yourself that I know I had, and I know that I have, and I've recently let it go to an extent. And now I just focus more on being the best version of myself in any given moment. And what that looks like for me, it kind of starts with the four agreements. Being impeccable with my word, not speaking illness, speaking to heal, speaking to not harm, being trauma informed, uh, not taking things personally, not taking ownership of anything externally. Like I have zero control over what somebody thinks about me, feels about me, says to me, says about me, behind my back, in front of my face, whatever. So not taking things personally. The third one, of course, is do not make assumptions, right? Because, and hey, if you are going to make assumptions, I guess I would say assume a narrative that protects your peace, right? An example I actually kind of heard today, like if you send a text out and somebody isn't responding to you and you just start assuming it's because they're angry or they're disrespecting you or they're doing it on purpose or they're ignoring you, that's taking a lot of ownership, right? So if you're going to make an assumption, which again, I suggest not making any assumption, but if you're going to make one, assume a narrative that protects your peace. Make an assumption in the favor of that person not doing something to deliberately cause you harm or disrespect you, right? And last but not least, always do your best, which kind of ties into all of the agreements because they're practice. It's a way of life, it's not a religion, right? Live your life in a way that you can look in the mirror and be like, ah, that's what's up, right? And not avoid looking in the mirror because I found myself avoiding the mirror for many, many years because I knew I wouldn't like what I would be reflected as. And so I avoided the mirror physically and metaphorically. Now I don't, right? I know that I stand in my authentic truth. I know that being a coach, being a recovery coach, being a peer counselor, I know that it's my calling. I recently did a 16 personalities test about 6 months ago, and then I did it today, and it's the same, right? I'm a protagonist, a healer, a coach, a leader, somebody who thrives in the space of helping others get to the best version of themselves, which makes complete sense because the podcast that I co host and co founded is called Pursue Internal Evolution. And, the phrase or the slogan is a blueprint to a better you, right? And I genuinely believe in that. I genuinely believe that people can be better if they choose to. And there's things like simple things like curiosity fostering connection. Just the ability to ask a stranger a question about something they're maybe wearing or listening to in music and creating a connection around that genuine curiosity. When you give a compliment, instead of telling someone, oh, you look good or you're pretty, you know, being intentional with your compliments could mean something like complimenting somebody's choice in style, complimenting a specific item that they're wearing because that item is a decision that that person made. So now your compliment is more than surface level. It has a little depth to it because now you're complimenting the choice that that person made that morning when they were rushing, getting ready and decided, oh, I'm going to put this watch on, or I'm going to wear this particular necklace, or these particular earrings, or this hat, or, the color of their hair, complimenting things like that are intentional ways to connect with people because you're complimenting something that they did have control over. Complimenting somebody's body or face, it's not always 100% in their control what that looks like, right? Obviously, there's augmentations and things that people do, but for the most part, there's a 7-day challenge I give you. Once a day for the next 7 days, get curious with a stranger about something, make a connection, and compliment. So use a compliment and an open-ended question with some genuine curiosity about a thing with a complete stranger. One stranger a day for 7 days. I challenge you. Compliment, connection, curiosity. Just think about that. The 7-day challenge. Connection, compliment, curiosity. Take care of that and see how good you feel. It's easy to hit that thumbs up on a Facebook post or Instagram or TikTok. But what about in person likes? Let's get back to community. Let's get back to connect.